Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. It's so lovely here in Xi'an. 我梦想来西安，第一次来西安，我看到很多 beautiful, beautiful terracotta warrior， 就是兵马俑。对我来说，就是我人生的尊重，因为每一个都是一个人，他们每一个衣服都是很漂亮的设计的，很像有一个每一个人都有性格。So I really want to come to see this 2,000-year-old place. 我今天的 my talk, I'm going to speak in English. My Mandarin is not good. It's from fashion to dance, a dialogue with time and place, time and space. And what is this time and space? To me, it's really important to acknowledge that time covers a long time with my life, career, from a little girl studying ballet to becoming a dancer, transitional to be a fashion designer, from arts and culture to commercialism, and now back to the arts realm, to start a dance company, to do a 基金会. So I kind of feel like time is really long. But then I ask myself, time is not in movements. I turn, I can show you my movements, but it's finished, it's gone. And then look. Here. This is another look. What happened to that Flora? And look. What is that? That is a mere memory of what you think of me. But if I come out like that and 我鞠躬，我就是另外一个人。So you have to understand, time and space in dance and fashion is transient. It doesn't exist for long. It's not like architecture or a 雕塑. It stays there forever. Space. I've traveled the world. I'm a slave. I'm probably like an air stewardess. I have to travel every week to a different place to promote my fashion collection. Have to talk about different places to show fashion shows and talk about dance and Hong Kong ballet and New York ballet, you know. So it is a lot of different spaces we're talking about. Two, the feeling of fabric on my body, the space, how you can see my body, that's space too. So in my life, I struggle with long histories of time, short. People don't remember what we do, struggling. So when I was young, I have to tell you a little bit, my dad and mom, because it's very Chinese to talk about mom and dad. My mom is from Beijing, my dad is from South America, Brazil, and 开始那个时候是在南美洲, British Guiana, French Guiana, Dutch Guiana, so I thought I was like South American. Then I had to go to the Royal Ballet because we live in a colony. Colony is like 英国人给我们是殖民地，你们都是英国人. So I thought I was English. And then I kind of asked myself, well, I don't think so. So time has passed, thinking I am like a schizophrenic, you know. And then I keep on going in and out of the doors from different country to different places to do different things. And when I was small, my parents told me, oh, you got to have the West. The West is paradise. You got to learn everything. 西方的金木水火土就是 mental, physical, emotional, social, and spiritual. Unless you get this all to the T, you ain't going to be famous, you ain't going to be successful. Because if you're too emotional, you will fail. If you're too social, no. You got to be mental, you got to learn, you have to have a PhD. Or you got to be very spiritual, emotional. What is the mix? And then, later, I will talk about this much later, but to me, these two are equations, dualism. 金木水火土, 我们中国人的金木水火土, where we create our balance with metal, water, wood, fire, and earth. And then, when I was small, my dad is a politician. And he said, my daughter is going to be a poor little dancer. I will have to teach her how to live life. This is Shangri-La. Watch the movie. The best, Lost Horizon, where there's no government. Everyone's happy, stay young and beautiful, and you won't ever grow old. Oh, I love that. And then people like, everyone loves everyone. No poor, no rich, no bad air. Everyone is wonderful. I said, wow, that's what I want to do. And James Hilton's book, I read again and again and again. I didn't like to watch cartoon. I don't like to play with Barbie dolls. I don't want to go to the park. I want to live like this. So I embarked upon going to the West, go to Africa, South Africa, go to Niagara Falls, go to Alaska, go to Tibet, go to every place. That's it. That's my Shangri-La. I love it. But then it's transient. It won't last because I can't function there. I can only function in the city. So what do I say to myself? I will have to bring it wherever I go. That's when I started my design house in Hong Kong, China, when I came back. But before I started my collection, I actually met someone very important in my life, and he's like a brother, and is Lawrence Bram. Long Zi-an, he said to me, Flora, you are Chinese skin, you're Chinese, you don't speak Chinese, you don't do anything Chinese. You're all about, my first collection is about Anna Pavlova, the Russian dancer, and the British dancers. And I try to look country, and then the funky, and then everything British. I used Beatles music, and I did very modern copies of Western philosophy, and I love Coco Chanel. But what does that do to me and my beliefs? Then he goes, you gotta learn Chinese. And Wu Zuguang, Xin Fengxia, they were like my teachers. They said, you have to learn and read and write Chinese. I said, okay, I'll do that. And therefore, I went and embarked on this converged Chinese history. And then I dare to become less is more. 旗袍很性感，我给设计师骂. They said, you ruined our 旗袍. I dare to have lots of hair instead of putting it up. I have painting on clothes. Timber, I use wood, I use different elements of fur, and it's like I found people in the streets at that time with no individuality, but suddenly everyone had individuality. They suddenly dare. What is the difference between at the 60s, where there's denim movement in London, peace movement, where there's Chinese doing Mao clothes? It all has to do with human. Time and space is happening at the same time. I was very engulfed in using different extremities, that things don't match. Like a complete metal piece to qipao, and even the body is more beautiful without so much clothes. And then the street funk, with all this street music, with street dance, hip hop, that is what people talk now. Technology, you can go online and build your own TV program. You can build your own movie. You can comment, oh, this is terrible, this is good. I think it's a different life. We have to move. But then I asked myself, I am totally tired. It's not my age, okay? I'm not about tired being aged. It's really about life is completely ruined by all this economic powerhouse and the air. I want peace. I want to shape our inner peace. So am I going to continue to design clothes that is on my skin? I want to develop internal happiness for children, for life, for everybody. I'm tired of being just like tool to help people to make a better future, make more money. So I went back. I said, that's it. Stop making money. I want peace. I want green peace. I don't want to contaminate the world with colorful, dye the fabric, make bad pollution. I want to do a dance company where we can build something that's solid. With Dr. Johan, he's an amazing choreographer, and with him, we started a school and a dance company where we can help everybody to build visual arts, performing arts, painting, to make everyone happy and learn dance from ballet, modern to bagua, to keep your health happy. We will never grow old. That I like. So Dr. Johan.
Thank you. Thank you, Flora. It is indeed such a pleasure to be here and share this moment with you and to speak to everyone here. I cannot promise you the eternal life that Flora was talking about before, but I would like to continue this dialogue between...
You have to take off your clothes when we have to talk like this.
I'm afraid you have to be terribly disappointed if you expect me to get undressed as well. So, time, the past to the present, space, east and west. Sometimes language makes things deceptively simple. Any look at Flora's designs from the past will reveal that there is no such thing as an east or a west. But instead, there are many easts, there are many wests, entangled in a very complex dialogue that sometimes is in conflict, that sometimes is in harmony. The other thing I want to continue this dialogue with is the notion of movement. Flora already mentioned, if I move, where is the movement now? There is something intangible about movement. And another very interesting thing is this motion from the past to the present, or is it the reverse? Most people that I speak to, they tell me that, oh, movement exists in the present. But already 2,500 years ago in ancient Greece, the philosopher Zeno of Elea demonstrated that logically, if we think of an existence in the present instance, movement cannot exist. It's impossible. This remained a mystery for about 2,500 years, until the philosopher Henry Bergson took up the issue of movement and its possibility to exist at the turn of the 19th to 20th century. So when I move, do this again, I like the circle, or is there a circle? Is that something that you project because you have a memory of something beginning and something ending, and you imagine that there was such a thing as a circle? It carries the idea that movement doesn't proceed from the present to the past, but through memory, we always gather the past into the present, and hence movement comes into being. Yet there is the intangibility about it, which we found when we started to work with this concept, the designs of Flora, the way that memory is integral to her designs, and the productions we do with the Wu Tian Yuan Dance Company. There is a kind of art form that hasn't been defined yet. An art form that has a tangible presence, yet has something to do with the memory of the past. And we found that there is no word to describe this kind of art. So that's why we are quite happy actually to be able to introduce a new concept within the arts world, which we have decided to call Choreutic artifacts, or if you like, Choreutic art. It has to do with movement, but it has to do with the tangibility of an artifact that exists in the present, which the memory is integral to. So with this in mind, we are venturing on this very interesting journey of dancing, making artifacts, making Choreutic art, working with children in order to stimulate them to engage in their dialogue with time, with space, and take responsibility for how we create memories, how we use these memories to generate a new future for ourselves. Whether we come from Shangri-La or we're moving towards the Shangri-La, that is once again our choice.
Yes, on that note, I actually feel we want to help children to keep their memory, because every education is very separated. You do violin, you do piano, you do dance, you do Western dance, you do Chinese dance, you do wushu. It's all separated. But what about integrating to help people that, I was talking to a press, African drums, but what about moving with it? How about letting your feelings out, making an African statue that you really remember, embrace? So it's not just this circle, I can keep on doing it, but then it's gone. You only see this circle, right? Because it's tangible. So what is our aim here is really to make you understand we want to help the young children, the talented ones, that can actually not even normal. They are Down syndrome, they have handicap, parents don't want them because they are not smart. We want to bring them in and make our money to give to them because being a famous designer no longer satisfies my internal soul. I come back to China, I see millions of people that need help, and I'm so happy that Dr. Johan can come and help me to do this. So, I'm taller than him, right? This is the image. These are designer shoes, very expensive. And we have a gift to help you to remember us. So everything is very fleeting. This is our gift to you, and I think everything is what you make of your life. Don't be scared to change your career. Don't be scared to be extreme, to be a banker and go and do African drums. Or be a banker? No. Be a lawyer and go and be sell something that you feel will help the world to be a better place. From Dr. Johan and I, from my utopia, I hope you will all have utopia yourself. You'll find it. Thank you.